This is a generation which has done everything on mobile first. So if you look at like shopping trend started in 2012, then came quick commerce trend. So everything happened on mobile, and the banking was still not on mobile before COVID. And I think that was the whole idea that how do we bring even the banking experience or the money managing experience completely on mobile first. So we have 3 million plus consumers today, more than 50% monthly active on our app, and we are like present in almost 19,000 pin codes, which in a banking world is unheard of. That without branch, you're present in 19,000 pin codes. While building the company, always take a long-term view. Your operating rhythm will be very, very different, because then you would not look for everyday excitement. You would look for whether you're moving towards your goal. As long as you're moving in the right direction, you will be happier.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of PayU's Let's Talk Scale. This is a show where we feature entrepreneurs and companies that have scaled businesses in extremely tough sectors. The objective of this show is to inspire and empower the next generation of entrepreneurs and professionals to start and build and scale their businesses. Today, I have an entrepreneur that has done a lot already in his very storied career. We have Jitendra Gupta, who's the founder and CEO of Jupiter. How are you doing, Jitendra?
I'm doing well.
Okay, for anyone that doesn't know what Jupiter does, try to explain it to us in as simple a way as you can.
So I'll explain in one line. It's basically a personal finance app for money. And we target mainly the consumers which are in their first and second job world, which is like typically 24 to 30. And this is a generation which has done everything on mobile first. So if you look at like shopping trend started in 2012, then came the whole the commerce, which is the quick commerce trend, the cab trend. So everything happened on mobile, and the banking was still on mobile, not on mobile before COVID, if you realize. And I think that was the whole idea that how do we bring even the banking experience or the money managing experience completely on mobile first for the generation which is used to that touch experience rather than the keyboard experience.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So, what could a person do if they went on your app? Tell us a few of the things they can actually do.
So literally it does everything what a consumer needs to manage their money, right from opening a bank account to availing a credit card to managing their finances. Like they can aggregate all of their money into a single app, single interface, and then move anywhere to anywhere, see it seamlessly, manage it seamlessly, invest from the app. If they want a credit, they can get a credit card or a loan from our app. So effectively, it's like a one stop all for this segment of consumers, and of course the service. So service is completely on mobile as well. So you don't have to go to any branch to get the account serviced or your loan or credit get serviced for any other product. Completely on mobile, completely digital.
Got it. This is a space, as all spaces are very, very competitive. So, therefore, what was the genesis of this idea? Why did you think this was something that you should pursue?
I think the trend was catching up anyway. So if you see like globally as well, there have been examples. Let's say UK, if we take it. So Revolut and Monzo have been the companies which truly disrupted, despite the UK being the most penetrated banking market. Similarly in India, while I would say the opportunity was much bigger, because 2016 is when two key levers happened. One is the geo revolution. So smartphone went into every Indian, the most Indians' palms, along with data, high speed data. And the second is the demonetization, which happened. So people had no choice but to use money digitally. And I think that is what we said, that the moment of introducing something on mobile was right in 2019. While we started working in 2019, I think the COVID was kind of a, while it was an unfortunate event, but it was a booster shot for our kind of a business, because people were not keen to touch the money physically. People were not keen to visit the branches. They wanted everything digitally at home without meeting anyone. And I think this is what we offered them right at their homes.
Yeah.
So that so I would say the timing was important, and that became the core genesis as well. And the segment which we targeted, which wanted everything on mobile, like they never experienced branch. So I think that was that came out in our service as well.
Very interesting. Where do you guys stand right now? If you could just run me through a
Sure.
few key good and bad stats, if any.
So I think we made decent progress. Long way to go though. So we have 3 million plus consumers today. More than 50% monthly active on our app. As I said, completely mobile. We don't have any physical presence. We we are onboarding now more than 100,000 consumers every month. The new consumers every month. From a revenue standpoint, we'll close the year at $25 million odd. We're growing almost 60-70% on a yearly basis. So we're in a happy state right now, I
In a
would say.
happy state. Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Jitendra, what were the 2 or 3 key decisions, according to you, that helped you unlock scale with Jupiter?
So I think the number one, if you like back in the days, if you remember, or even now with some of the segments, when you ask a question or you tell someone that why don't you open a new bank account, and generally the feeling or the perception is, oh my god, it's too much of paperwork and the waiting time, and I don't want to go through this process. I rather stick to what I do. And I think this is what we changed. So we said that you can get your bank account at home without talking to anyone, without visiting anywhere, literally in flat 2 minutes. And it's a full service bank account. And I think that seamless onboarding was one of the things which really made people try our product without worrying about paperwork.
But if you were to connect this to, say, any learnings or advice that you have for relatively new entrepreneurs, you would say whatever your product, seamless onboarding is essential.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So one is that, and second is I think basically the customer friction. I would say if I have to relate it to any other business, that how do you reduce the friction in your product, or how do you make the customer life convenient? It's like quick commerce. If you look at it, what are they doing? They're making your life convenient by just getting you everything in 10 minutes. You don't need to store anything for months. So I think that is what the friction. Removing friction in the journey or in your daily experience is what the key.
Got it. So that was one thing that
So
helped
that was
unlock.
one.
Yeah.
I think the second was the brand positioning, I would call it, which really differentiated us. So I mean, and if you like hear the word Jupiter, I don't think you will forget it again. So the word is so unique that it really registered in consumers' mind. The third is the comprehensiveness of the offering. See, today from your bank, you expect every product, which is the credit product, investment products, and the banking product and the payment product. And I think this is where, if you look at our space, which is a fintech space, typically companies are there doing only one or two things at best. They are not able to offer a very comprehensive offering to the consumers. And I think this is what we solved for, that in a single app, how do you get a full service comprehensive offering? And the last one, which really sort of became differentiated, is service. And I think today we underrate service, saying that, okay, product is great. But in banking, it's a bit different. So a bit different in the sense that since consumer is keeping their money with you or the trust with you, they would want to talk to you. And I think even we had this misnomer, by the way. When we started our company, we said that we'll have only chat as an option, no call center needed, because this is a savvy consumer base, mobile first. So why do they need to talk? But very soon we realized in 6 months that these consumers want confidence that their money is safe. So they want to talk, verify that this company exists. There are real people behind. There are real people servicing or worrying about their money. So I think this is where the service is the focus which we brought into the company, which really differentiated us.
Which part of the Jupiter stack, by which I mean technology, whether it's banking partnerships or compliance, became a constraint for you? Did it become a constraint or not?
So, our world is always full of constraints. So,
you mean as an entrepreneur or somebody in the BFSI space?
so especially in the fintech world.
Yeah.
See, ideally, if you were to ask me, my ideal state of starting Jupiter would have been where I have a banking license, and then I'm able to gain more confidence and trust from the consumer, saying that I'm a regulated entity dealing with your money. You don't have to worry about whether your money is safe or not. And then we deliver a great experience to the consumer in managing their money. So that would have been the ideal state. So the number one constant itself was the license. So we had to work with a traditional bank and literally make many changes to their system, work through the partnership, which is again one of the toughest puzzle to solve in the fintech world. So which we navigated, and took us a couple of years, honestly, to launch our product, which is again very unusual if you realize that as a startup, first 2 years there's no product. So it took us a couple of years. So I think that was the toughest part. But the thing which really worked for us is that we worked on really deeply entrenched relationships with our partners, and second is the tech infrastructure, and we build that ground up. I think this is a thing which is relatively unknown to the industry, that to deliver a great experience, it not just the front end. To deliver a great experience, your back end, your infrastructure, your processes have to be strong, and that's the only when your front end will work seamlessly. Otherwise, just seeing a great UI or the great UX is not the way to deliver a great experience.
Got it. Jitendra, tell me about brand building and what part do you think that played in your journey of scale? And tell me 2 or 3 things that you think you all did well from a brand building standpoint that really helped.
So as I said, we were not live for the first 2 years before we launched the product. So we used that time to build a brand, and how we did it via content. So we said that this generation anyway doesn't trust you just because you're saying that trust me. So what we did is we rolled out a lot of financial education videos over the period of 2 years. So there must be hundreds of videos educating people about the different content. So when we launched the product, people already knew about Jupiter brand, despite not having the product in the market. And I'll give you some real fact. When we launched it, saying that we're launching next week, we had 100,000 consumers waiting to open the bank account.
Wow.
And like, have you ever heard in India that there are hundreds of banks where you can go and open your bank account, but here 100,000 people are waiting digitally. And I think that literally, like, we opened 100,000 account in the first month itself. So that was very, very unique. Zero cost marketing. We didn't have to spend anything on the marketing, and that became a real differentiator in the early days for us. And there's another thing which we did, we still do that. So we formed a community. So we positioned this that your bank never asks you what to build, whether you like this product, whether you like this feature. We build this community where we're saying that build your own bank. So where we put in our product feature list completely online. It is still out open, and consumers can vote which feature they can prioritize for us. So literally, when we ship the feature which consumers have voted the highest, the kind of gratification they get, and people take the pride. I recommended that feature, and see, Jupiter has launched that feature. So there's a real association. So it looks like they are building the bank with us, vis-a-vis we building only for them.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely. Jitendra, you're operating in a space where sometimes fintech innovation happens at a much quicker pace than the regulations can keep up to. For any entrepreneurs here operating in a space that's regulated, whether it's in fintech or otherwise, what suggestions would you have to navigate regulations? How do you work with regulations? What would be the 2 or 3 things that you'd share?
I think this is a topic which is the most debated topic in last couple of years between regulators and fintechs, especially our space where a lot was disrupted over time, and I think, but when I look back, I think it's a factor of your outlook of building the company. So if you are building the company for, let's say, next 20 years, the path you will take or the features or the consumers you will address will be very different compared to if your outlook is just 5 years or 3 years. Uh, because then you know that if you're building for 20 years, you would not want to take shortcuts because it will bite you back someday. But if you're building for a short time, then it doesn't matter because then you want a just quick exit. So it's okay. So I think this is where I would say that a long term view automatically changes your perspective about the compliance and the regulation as well. Because you will try to see that how you mostly remain compliant and try to build your business which is regulatory risk proof. So I think this is the advice I'll give to anyone else as well, that take a view which is long term and see that if 20 years down the line, if you look back and say, if I have to rebuild, what would I do right? You rather do right that today.
Got it.
So I think that is the difference.
Jitendra, what role do payments play in your ecosystem? How important are they?
So the payments is a very very integral part of our offering, and we do work with payment partners to collect payments externally. So whether people have to fund our bank account, whether people have to pay the loan back, or whether consumers have to pay their credit card bills, payments of course is a very very integral phenomena of our offering. So we try to remain focused that. From a consumer journey standpoint, how does the payment experience become more and more seamless? So one other thing which we did just to make even the payment interesting, we said that how do we give a very categorized view of all the payments a consumer makes. So like today, if you look at your bank statement, you generally struggle many times to recollect, oh, this payment you made for what, and how much you spent on what category of spends. So like whether how much you spend on shopping for the month, how much you spend on the food for the month. And I think youngsters care about how much budget they have for a particular category of expense and how much they have spent. There's no visibility today. So our app, for that matter, solves that visibility issue as well, without consumers taking a manual effort.
Got
So
it.
it automates their budgeting and the visibility into the payment spends and all of that.
Got it. Tell me a little about your PayU partnership.
So we have been partnering with PayU for the last 2 years, and honestly, like as I said, I work with PayU, so my association goes longer. So it works seamlessly. We are happy, of course. If there is any issue, I have people at disposal to call any day.
Got it.
So they still treat me their boss. So it's okay.
So it's a true partnership
Yeah.
in that sense, right? That's great to hear. How is tech in the 6-year journey played a role, and how has AI over the last few years with all the buzz, how has that played a role in Jupiter scaling?
So tech has been definitely a very very important differentiator for us. So as I was saying earlier as well, that we built most of the tech in house and ground up. So right from the, let's say, the credit card systems to loan systems, it took us 3 to 4 years to build these core systems, which takes millions of dollars for banks to spend. The good part about the way we went about is that since we had the long term view, we said that let's invest upfront, and at a scale we will get a high operating leverage, which we are seeing now. So even when I'm scaling 2-3x every year, my incremental cost may be just 5%. So I think that's the benefit which we've started reaping now. But initially it was a big investment, and I had to put my neck out in front of my board saying that why we are making such a heavy investment without ROI. And I think that is what the tech investment has been super efficient for us to get a high operating leverage in the recent time. I think when it comes to AI, I would say we today use AI in three core domains. So one on the engineering side, where people are number of engineers have gone down to 50%. So that has been a real change, which we've seen. Most of our engineers are using the AI tools to generate code and augment their code base. That's the immediate cost benefit which we are seeing. The second is on the servicing side. So our chatbots are now completely AI driven. So it's still improving. I would not say it is there yet, which I would like to like I would say is best. So it is still getting there, but again, it has reduced our cost by almost 40%. So like number of agents have come down from 180 to 110, 115 agents. So that's a real benefit which we have seen. While the customer experience has improved, so customers are more happier. So we measure customer happiness through NPS. So clearly our NPS ratings are increasing quarter on quarter. And then the third thing is on the marketing side. So earlier, to run performance marketing, we used to take 2 days to get one creative out. Now we are creating. Now we are doing like almost 50 plus creatives every day, which is like the velocity. If you look at it, is a 100x velocity, which we are seeing, and more personalized, more segmented. We can go in the performance marketing. So it's a real benefit which we are seeing by leveraging AI.
Fantastic. That's so interesting. Jitendra, you're somebody that's been in this industry for a long time, right? You founded a company that even back then was very, very well known. You've been an operator at PayU, now this particular venture. So you come with experience. You're not a newbie entrepreneur. In spite of that, what were the 2 or 3 big surprises you had when you started Jupiter?
I think the biggest surprise was customer service for me. So as I said, like when we budgeted our business model, I budgeted that to manage 1 million consumers, maybe I will need only 5 people in a service team, because mostly will be automated, mostly will be rule driven, self serve. It doesn't work. Customers want real interaction.
Yeah.
Customer wants more confidence to deal with their money. So that was the number one surprise. The second was, or second has been, even banks are improving. So the pace at which the traditional banks are making progress, honestly, they didn't make this much progress in 20 years. But in the last 3 years, I see they improving. And the third, which is a positive one, where when I started, most people said that the customers would find it difficult to trust completely digital offering in a banking world. But we are ourselves being surprised by that. Customers are trusting us, customers are endorsing us, they're bringing their families, their friends via referrals into the ecosystem. So that's a positive surprise which we are seeing, where the customer never tells us that I want to visit the branch or I want to see you. So I think that's the benefit which we are seeing of complete digital, and we are like present in almost 19,000 pin codes, which in a banking world is unheard of. That without branch, you're present in 19,000 pin codes.
I could keep talking to Jitendra, but what are your final words of advice as a two-time entrepreneur and an operator as well? What are your words of advice, suggestions for anybody that's just starting off and wants to scale his company to the heights that you have?
I think couple of things that when you're building a company, you need lot of perseverance, and there'll be a moment where you would want to take a shortcut. There'll be a moment you would want to give up. But I think staying put for a long time is the key. And second is, while building the company, always take a long-term view. Your operating rhythm will be very, very different, because then you would not look for everyday excitement. You would look for whether you're moving towards your goal. As long as you're moving in the right direction, you will be happier.
Jitendra, this has been a fascinating conversation for me. And every time that you've said something, I've learned so much from this particular conversation. I wish you and Jupiter all the luck.
Thank you.
Because, we keep talking about disruption in some way. But you have brought about a very positive disruption to the Indian fintech and BFSI ecosystem. And the fact that you've gone to so many pin codes and made penetrated so well into the Indian market. I congratulate you.
Thank you.
I congratulate the team. And the next time I see you, hopefully that long-term vision that you have has played out exactly like you and your team have.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.